Hello, people of the internet! Welcome. I am KICdude, and today I'm going to be talking about something that I think we're over the horizon of already. All the information is out. That's the information would be out. And essentially, we're over the hump. We're over the gigantic, fallout of this YouTube adpocalypse, as I would say. You know how a roller coaster goes up and it's like chucked at the top, and you're like, no, how could this get any worse? We're already on we're going down. We're at the downhill of this. So let's go ahead and figure out what's going on. First of all, the media. The media itself, it's kind of the reason why this whole thing happened. A long time ago, PewDiePie made a video, and the Wall Street Journal tagged him. So I guess they didn't like it. So the same company, the Wall Street Journal, posted an article that said that ISIS videos were popping up on YouTube next to these big old advertisers. So a lot of advertisers pull out as a knee-jerk reaction. But these advertisers really, the media, all they want is they want the clicks. They want their money. So they will make these outrageous claims with not a lot of research. They probably will look at like 4 or 5 different instances of all of YouTube. So quite literally, they do clickbait. They try to stir up some kind of controversy, and they always 100% try to be first. They never really, in today's age, being first is really what matters, because nobody is ever going to be like, oh, this guy was first, but this guy posted today, and that was posted a week ago. What new information did it say? No, they're going to stick with your guns and be like, oh, that one that a long time ago obviously is the real answer, and no one's going to look up like, oh, here's a continuation of the story. No. What's going to happen is people are going to stick with one headline, and that's what they're going to roll with. They're not going to look into dive in and to see what controversies or something that pops up with it. No. They're going to stick with that one headline. I don't know. PewDiePie loves emperor penguins because they make the best sandwiches. Who knows, right? But that's the reason. That's what's going on. But that's the reason But that's what the media wants. They want that attention, controversy, and they want to be first to it. Because of this, a lot of advertisers and a lot of YouTubers, this big old kerfuffle, it was a gigantic war fought over many months. But at the same time, is it really this consequential? So I wanted to introduce what exactly was going on and put the two sides and what YouTube did and all that kind of stuff. So first of all, the advertisers. They pulled out of YouTube because they saw this, obviously they had an overreaction to this one thing that, quite literally is the smallest percentage of anything that happens ever, anything on YouTube. For a good example, I believe there's something crazy of every minute 500 hours of content are uploaded to YouTube every minute. So to put that in perspective, if you watch your favorite creator and it's a 30-minute video, you feel I would assume a full month behind. So that's a chunk of data. So what's going on is these companies didn't really understand that, and they had a knee-jerk overreaction. And they pulled their funding. They pulled all these things behind because of literally 0.00001% of videos on YouTube had advertising on them and had controversial content. Lord knows why they pulled it for less than a 1%, but they did. And that's it. They went out to these sponsors and was like, look at all this stuff you're supporting. Quite literally less than a 1,000% of the videos on YouTube have this controversial controversy that they were conversely they're not even close to being represented by. Okay, and yes, I have seen comments being like, who cares? Maybe these people that are having this gigantic debate, or maybe these people who are these controversial people, maybe they like chunky soup. That's not the point. That is not the point. The point is that these guys had an overreaction to something that literally is less than a 1,000% of all content on YouTube, and decreasing therefore rapidly. The second thing is that even for a company as big as Coca-Cola, Johnson & Johnson, and Campbell's, those are some of the companies that pulled out of the advertising, it's essential to market. Like, I didn't even know Johnson & Johnson was on YouTube marketing, and that's kind of the point of why you push for marketing. That's totally the reason why you do it. For any company of any size, it's always been that you need to market, no matter how big or how small you are. You need to market yourself as the best representation of yourself as possible. Like even as myself, I put in some money so that my channel can grow. I do advertise myself. I don't expect anything in return. God, Jesus, all I'm expecting is for people to know who I am. Here's the thing about this advertising that is essential. These companies basically they chose to pull out of getting their piece of pie. What I mean by that is, any company any size has a choice of advertising a gigantic pie that YouTube provides, and this could be good, this could be bad, but you are always 100% going to get your piece of pie if you advertise. All right, if you advertise, you're gonna get it. That's fine. What doesn't happen if you don't what doesn't happen if you advertise though is, if you don't advertise, you're not getting your name out there. No one's gonna see your product. No one's gonna even hear about you. At the bare minimum, you're probably gonna know somebody who saw your thing once, and that's the reason you should be advertising. These companies pulling out, it was essentially them shooting themselves in the foot or in their knee and trying to continue running. That doesn't work. Even a company as big as Coca-Cola knows that marketing is essential to just the cornerstone of their stuff. Every company knows that. Marketing. Keep making sure people know your name. Being active on social media. All this stuff. Just because you have an active Twitter account does not mean by any means that you are close to being big in the public eye. Because of that, because of these companies having this overreaction and pulling out, we've had the YouTubers. And this YouTuber side is becoming very toxic comparatively, right? So the first thing that some of these YouTubers is, they blamed YouTube for this big old kerfuffle that they thought was YouTube's fault. It is not YouTube's fault. YouTube, literally anybody can promote on YouTube. Like anybody, like any small channel can put $1,000 in any form of capacity on a credit card, you name it, blood, whatever. You can go ahead and do that, and you're gonna get views. You're gonna get guaranteed views on your channel. So that is a good thing. The bad thing is whether or not you have the money, if it's good enough, if your channel is promoting well enough, if your channel is even quality enough. People probably won't even watch your stuff. Like, there was a Minecraft channel a long time ago that advertised, but they had no personality behind the entire channel. I would have watched it, but the guy was it was very clear that he just put money in to get the views and nothing else. They didn't even try to find some kind of common ground. Didn't even try to be entertaining. It was a very blasé thing. Of course, there's people who like that, but there's also people who like the fact that you edit and crop your videos to make it funny or at least more entertaining. The second thing that people did, and it was basically blame the advertisers of not having thick enough skin. This is basically the Disney pros and cons thing. Like, you can't really blame the advertisers because they're their own companies. They have the right to do whatever the hell they want. Those CEOs can be like, listen, we don't want to be associated with yada 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 or XYXY, so we're pulling out because we just don't want it. We just don't want to. It's just a random situation we don't want. And to be fair, that's what they did. So guess what? Yeah, it's good. It's whatever. But yeah, people are like, no, these guys should have thicker skin. Who cares? It's literally like the less than 1,000% of all content on YouTube. Yes, but that even then, sometimes they just don't want to, okay? They just don't want to be like, oh, the media presentation says this, and then all of a sudden we're losing money. Not really, but at the same time, I understand that reasoning, and we should all understand that if, I don't know, maybe PewDiePie is being if the media comes out saying PewDiePie is a pedophile because he says at one point that he should just, F kids, and, because of that, I understand maybe he's serious, and I think maybe that is the truth, that maybe he is a pedophile. Even though I'm joking there, people can take that out of context and take that, and so what PewDiePie will do is he'll negate that and to falsify, make those claims as clear as crystal that he is not what these people say that he is. And that can go good and that can go bad. Mostly people are understanding and understand that that's not the representation of that they wanted. So that's why the advertisers decided to leave. Don't blame the advertisers. They can choose whatever they want to do. Really what it comes down to is that people started to blame the media. Rightly so. I don't blame you. The media is the one at fault here. But primarily for the reason that they did the articles and they started putting this out of, like, way out of proportion. And they just, because of the things I said before, because they want to be first, they want that clickbait, they want that controversy, just to get some money. And in this money-driven world, I don't blame them, but at the same time, check your sources, check your sources, check your sources. I can't stress that enough now in this day and age with all this, like, not even media blackout, just media distrust, with, like, it first started with the cops situation where cops were beating up people in the streets, which it still needs to be addressed. It happens day in and day out. Cops aren't, nearly as addressed. It happens in Austin. It happens everywhere. We need to have people all the time checking their own departments and even other departments. Like, for example, if, like, say Houston has a cop that beats up somebody for jaywalking for no apparent reason other than the fact that they were jaywalking, it's excessive. If Austin sees that, they should be like, listen, bro, you messed up this guy's bread and butter. Why the heck did you do that? We're going to, take action upon somebody else's request. Have some common decency. Something like that, But it happens all day in and day out. And media's, some other, if let's say, for example, Yahoo posts something that says something, like, that's completely out of base, out of the question, other media sources, should try to prove whether or not that is correct. Not whether or not that they are wrong. Okay? There's a difference between trying to say, oh, well, this is incorrect and you were wrong. Okay? Well, basically the difference is, if I say, 95% of all women are stupid. All right? That's a baseless argument. I have nothing to back that up, right? So let's say another me says, that is not accurate because a lot of women are in business. And to be in business, you need to have a lot of qualifications. So, therefore, it's not that. Really, what this article is trying to say is, in this situation, women are stupid, and that I don't agree with that. I don't agree with the phrasing and all that kind of stuff. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, media should try to help each other out to clarify statements, not try to go against one another. Media, what the heck are you guys doing? Okay, it is not the Civil War out here. Okay, literally your job is to tell us what is going on in the world, not whether or not one agency is incorrect or one agency is just like the worst. No, your job is to be like, listen, we saw this article on yada yada website. These points are correct. These points are inaccurate. We've gotten more information based on what they have said, and this is why these points are inaccurate. Not, this guy is wrong, this is why I'm right. Okay? It's never been that. It shouldn't be that. And honest journalism has to have that kind of ethics and moral code to it, or else nothing can be trusted anymore besides Philip DeFranco and Boogie 2988. I literally watch Keemstar. I literally watch Philip DeFranco. Literally watch Scares for my news and nothing else but my news. Because if I go to my local publicly, nationwide stuff, it could be biased in some way. And that is what the problem is, okay? We want no bias in our news, okay? Now, in all this, right, why the media did all this kind of stuff, I totally understand, and it makes sense in a business aspect. Did make sense to us, but it's totally understandable for a company to want money, so that's what they wanted, they served the controversy in the first place. But in response to all of this, all of the YouTube and all of the advertiser bickering, what did YouTube do? Well, first and foremost, they started doing something called, basically just labeling, a broad label, calling some content family friendly. Now, yes, this does categorize a lot of people as not family friendly and not being on top tier advertiser, tiers. I would consider myself to be family friendly because I try not to use any curse words. I try to appeal to very broad audiences, and I feel like if you can watch what I'm saying in front of a 10-year-old and your grandmother, then I've hit pretty much gold. I'm good. I try to be funny without, compromising, all this stuff. I try to make jokes that go over little kids' heads, but adults will get. And, it's stuff that, like, because kids will watch for the visuals and they'll watch for the poop joke every once in a while. But at the same time, I'm making jokes that are very dark and very gritty that appeal to a higher audience. And it's very hard to do that because I very constantly have to censor myself to not do that. So, yes, I would consider myself a family-friendly audience. It's by no means easy. I very much limit myself to like a very small margin of people. But it's essential because now you need to do that in order to either be relevant or to even make some money on YouTube. Because I know for a fact the Achievement Hunters, Let's Play, basically the same people, Rooster Teeth, the entire company, I know PewDiePie2988 has complained about this. Philip DeFranco Show has basically no funding from YouTube, basically at all. I would assume Keemstar is the same way because, I don't know, maybe people report his videos. PewDiePie definitely is not up there anymore. It's just, overall people are, freaking out about something that they control. And it's interesting to see this shift in paradigm where people are like, well, we have to be family friendly now. It's just the thing we have to do. Well, you do and you don't, okay? You do in one respect that you can totally do that, but at the same time, your channel's already been classified, essentially. Philip DeFranco said it best. I'm pretty sure, he's pretty sure whole channels, not just videos, just whole channels are being classified as being family-friendly or not family-friendly. And that either puts you or removes you from categorization by some unknown third party that YouTube employs. YouTube doing this, the YouTubers' reaction and the media's reaction and all these, basically the back and forth war that's going on between YouTube and the mainstream media and advertisers and YouTube itself, I would love to know what the heck everyone thinks. We've obviously have all the information. If you guys find any information, I would love to hear about it. You go ahead and post it in the comments. Put it on my Twitter, tweet at me. I'm always open to just talk to people. Open up the discussion. What do you think about this topic? Now, if you guys like what you hear, love me and I'll love you back. Because I will see you guys next time.